All right. No more fun. It's time to get serious. This video is going to be different than the prior ones, but it's still going to revolve around a solution that I'm proposing, and that is to put in place a consistent and robust vetting system of all political leaders. I call this solution the grill, and quite succinctly, the grill is a once-a-month, 3-hour-long interrogation of the politician while they're running for office and while they're in office. The consistency of the grill is essential. So if you're looking to find out more information or get more context, you can find your way to the original grill overview video. We're going to take a slight detour now, but please watch this video until the end because we will circle back to the original grill solution. I want to share with you what I believe to be the 3 most powerful forces on Earth that are within human control, at least for the time being. Number 3 would be nuclear war, or more specifically, the detonation of a nuclear device. Clearly, if one or many go off, it's the difference between a portion of the globe or a majority of it becoming completely uninhabitable for decades or centuries to come. But I think where its real power is derived from is the ability of people to forget. Let's take a look at a timeline for a moment. You've got the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Iraq War, weapons of mass destruction, to today, the war in Ukraine. The problem is that it's only top of mind for the average citizen and politicians when these events spike, but afterwards and in between, no one's thinking about it. But rest assured, there are nefarious operators and rogue states that are getting closer and closer on an hourly basis to wield one of these weapons, whether it's to cause chaos or to use it as a bargaining chip. And if you don't buy the whole evil people are trying to get nukes to blow up the world situation, then I would direct you towards a book that also doesn't respect our timeline of memory or our news cycle, which would be Command and Control by Eric Schlosser, where he shows how the transportation of nuclear devices within the United States has been less than desirable, and also shows how much of the personnel that guard and operate the nuclear silos tested positive for marijuana, LSD, and cocaine. Number 2 would be artificial intelligence. We had it write us a paper on quantum mechanics, and in less than 3 minutes, it put out a very lengthy report. Every educational institution on the planet will have to change. Many of them will just fall to the wayside. Then we went on to have it program us a little piece of software. What would take 2 human engineers an entire month to accomplish, it did so in 30 seconds. People are speculating 40% of all jobs will be replaced in the next decade. I would guess that it's probably a higher percentage in less time. If this is what's available to the general public, imagine what's behind closed doors. It must be 2 to 3 times more powerful. And then I quickly realized that using 2 to 3 times are probably not the factors that make sense when it comes to the progression of AI and how it advances. But I think where the real power is derived from has us looking back at number 3 for a moment. Most people do not want nuclear war. But with artificial intelligence, every country around the world and more people joining this field are happily typing away to progress AI, welcoming with open arms a superior life form that will be higher up on the food chain than human beings. For number 1, the most powerful force on Earth would be my favorite, human discourse. Your ability to talk and refine your ideas by debating and discussing them, that has given birth to number 2 and number 3 and any other item you can put on a longer list. It's responsible for everything around us, and its real power comes from the fact that you don't need a computer, although it helps, and you don't need access to enriched uranium. Anybody can sit down with people that you agree with or don't agree with, and you can talk out, debate, and refine your ideas. Here ends the detour. Let's take that entire top 3 monologue and go, there it is. We're on the outside looking in. What would make that better? Forget the fact that you may not like my voice or how I spoke about these things or what I said or if you heard it before, but what would make it better? One thing would be if there was a moderator here, someone to push back on my assertions, to know when to hold me to formal logic or fuzzy logic, or when to let go of logic when I'm sort of speculating about the future. There's sort of this creative chaos, and then to have me lasso it back in under the tenets of logic so that I could apply some kind of reform to the actual reality that we're living inside of. Someone to call me out on my bullshit so that every sentence gets progressively better, or each time I return that I'm interrogated on these topics and others, that I come back better and stronger, or maybe I don't come back at all. Another way to improve things would be to not hear this stuff from me. Wouldn't it make more sense to hear from the people that we elected, our politicians? They all have different levels of power depending on their level of office to shape these forces before they become out of control. If these aren't in your top 3 forces, they're probably in your top 10, and there's probably a list of items that you want discussed on a regular basis so that we can work out the ideas with the people that actually have some power to shape them. The reason I'm putting these videos out is so that much smarter people, more influential people than myself will notice this project and latch onto it and increase the chances of it coming to fruition. So subscribe, like, and share this video and the grill overview video and comment on them, because once the forces in position 2 or 3 overtake position 1, then it's over.